Welcome back to another week. Small C Big Impact. Cheers. We have officially made it past 1 month of podcasting.
Wow.
Go us. What?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. 5 episodes deep.
I was about to say, I don't even know what episode we're on now.
Episode 5. Officially 1 month past, so look at us. We have beat what most people
Is
give
this
up
5 or
on.
is this 6?
Oh, maybe this is week 6.
I think it's going to be 6.
Alright, well, even better then. Most people give up on their goals. What is it, 2 weeks in? No, 3 weeks in?
Yeah.
The 18th?
Right
What
around,
is it?
right
18th,
around
14th or something?
Right around the 20th.
Oh, around the 20th? Alright, well, there you go. We're officially past it. 50. How many did I say? Wait, how many weeks in a year? 53?
2.
Oh, 52 weeks in a year. This is what public school gets you. Hopefully I go teaching Opal better. I swear from homeschooling Opal, I learned more from homeschooling her. Even in my ability to read, this is totally off tangent, but I just have to say this. Teaching her how to read has re-taught me how to read.
Oh,
and
yeah.
has also has made me understand why I never really learned how to read very well. Because I've always had really hard time reading. Well, one, I have dyslexia, but outside of the fact that I had dyslexia, actually being able to read, I feel just none of it makes sense. It just doesn't make sense. But I feel when you're in a giant class and the teacher can't exactly break it down for you, it's no wonder a lot of the kids don't ever really learn how to read very well, you know?
We also have more incentive to learn how to read right now.
I do?
Yeah.
What do
Because
you
have
mean?
to teach Opal.
Oh, for sure. But I'm saying even teaching her in the most simplistic way of kindergarten and first grade reading level, the rules and stuff like that.
I
Don't put rules
understand
and
that,
quotations.
yeah.
It's I'm oh, this is.
No, I meant
what it
because
is.
you're better at it. You also have a better reason to be better,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
I also want her to be better. She loves reading, and I'm I am so jealous. Shane loves reading, and my sister and mom love reading, and people who love reading, I'm so jealous of because I always wanted to be a reader.
That's why
But
I love reading.
Or I think you do like reading.
Yeah.
Do you think that? Do
I don't
you
think I
not
love reading.
think you like to read? Or you're a good reader, I should say. At the very least, you're a good reader.
Yeah.
When Shane and I first started dating, he was reading a series that he was reading in prison, and then the last book of the series came out. This book was dead ass, it was a Harry Potter. It was bigger than a Harry Potter book.
Yeah, I think it was 1,400 pages.
I read it in a week. No, how
And
many nights
big
did you read
pages.
it?
The book was
Yeah, that's what I mean.
it was 14 by
huge.
something, but it's a big book.
You read it in a week, literally.
It's because I stayed up half the night to read it.
Still.
That's how I do everything.
I could not read. I can read
You'd be sleeping, I'd be 3 a.m. I gotta close this book.
Anyways, I'm jealous of people who can read. What are we talking about today?
Why health is only for the wealthy.
Healthy
Just
is not for the wealthy. That's what we're talking about. Why being healthy is not just for the wealthy. That's a common saying, health is for the wealth, and that is completely incorrect. And I am here to debunk that.
I hope everyone knows I'm just a troll. Yeah.
I think they do.
My
If they follow us in any way, shape, or form, they
My
definitely
social
know.
media, the podcast, how I interact with anyone who
You're
interacts
I
with me.
swear I'm a good person.
I'm hilarious. You just don't understand.
You are funny. Shane has a funny personality, but really nobody gets it because.
That somehow didn't spill anywhere. I was so surprised.
Just backwash back into your drink.
Perfect.
Yum. But yeah, we're going to be talking today about all the different things you can do for your health that you don't need to be wealthy. I think most people, when they think even when I talk to people too, I feel people first thought is all the really expensive food and stuff like that. And I'm where at some there are, to some extent, I do think you should spend more money on higher quality things. There's also lots of high quality things that you can get in bulk that are cheap, and that you don't necessarily need all the other things. Yeah, you
Let's
don't.
not use the word cheap, because cheap could be quality.
Okay, well, I mean, yes, cost effective. They make sense to buy in bulk. When you find something you like, or there is something that you use in a lot of your meals, you can often find a very good, healthy version. And I'm even gonna go as far as even people who eat meat. If you eat meat and you want really high quality meat, it's actually cheaper to buy half a cow or a full cow or a quarter of a cow from your local farmer butcher than it is to just be going to the grocery store every week. If you eat red meat, or if you eat chicken or whatever it is, a staple in your meal, if you pay for it in bulk, then it's actually cheaper to buy it like that. And then same with like beans or rice, like things that we eat in our food all the time, oats, like all of those things we buy in bulk, and you can get really high quality items in bulk, and they are so much cheaper than getting a bag like at Whole Foods or any grocery store. Like they're going to be so much cheaper, and they're going to be higher quality.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think a part of this, of what you're just saying, is planning what you're going to eat far in advance saves you a lot in the end.
For sure.
Like, you gotta, to get high quality oats in bulk, you have to order, 2 months of oats at a time.
Yes.
And then you gotta order it from somewhere. You can't be like, oh, I'm out of oats, I'm gonna run to the store, because then you're gonna get the crap brands.
Yeah,
or you're gonna pay an arm and a leg
exactly.
to get the same brand.
Yeah,
so I think a lot of this is just actual like preparation and awareness, which is where most people I think actually fail in a lot of things.
For sure. And I think it's funny because I think people often overcomplicate what they eat or what they're gonna make or whatever. But it's like in reality, if you sat down or just like looked at your last month's worth of meals of what you ate every single day, if you wrote down what you ate every single day, I guarantee you 90% of it is the same, and you just have different like sauces on it or different ways of preparing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it's probably majority of it is probably all of the same key ingredients, key foods, like key items in the meals, whether it be like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, whatever it is. It's like the same things you're eating. You're just, flavoring them differently or cooking them differently, or like one's in the Instapot, one's steamed, one's like, you know what I mean? Like sauteed, like whatever it is. It's like, but it's the same things. So I'm like, if you're going to be making food with the same things, you might as well be like purchasing whatever items you can in bulk, which you can basically find anything in bulk.
Yeah.
In good bulk. And there's lots of really good websites that have like these items in bulk.
All you gotta do is type in Google, type in your item, and then type bulk after it, and it'll auto-populate. And just go through like the first 5 or 6 links and find who's got the best price.
Yeah.
You
can even reach out to us and ask us, because we order from a lot of different bulk places. Because it is true, not every single website is going to have the best prices. Like you do sometimes.
Yeah,
there's ones that we've ordered from, and then I'm like, oh look, I found it over here. Like let's start ordering it from over here instead of over there.
I also think some vendors get price breaks from certain items.
For sure.
Because they get them more, they sell them more, whatever. So we get our rice from over here, our beans from over here.
Both of our different beans from 2 different places.
Exactly.
Like we get our lentils from one place, our mung beans from another place, our rice from another place, our oats from another place. Mm-hmm. But we order it all. It's like mostly ordered all online.
Yeah, it's a click.
Yeah, it's like you could literally have it as you can. Most of these you can. That's what I was gonna say. Also, though, mostly you can even have like some type of subscription set up where you're like getting them ordered every X amount of time once you figure out how often you're going through them. And that just makes it so much easier. But yeah, being able to plan out your meals in advance also makes it so that you're not like running around trying to figure out what you want to eat and then making bad decisions, or spending a lot of money being like, I'm gonna make this real fancy meal that has all these ingredients that I'm only gonna use one time, like spices and things like that. Like I always try to only find things that like we're going to use those same ingredients again.
Over and over.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to buy one-off things that if I don't like this recipe, I'm never going to use it again. You know what I mean? Or even if I did like this recipe, am I going to make this recipe again type of thing. So if you know the ingredients you like, try to purchase them in bulk, and I do think that helps. I think where a lot of people get lost when it comes to spending a lot of money on, like, healthy foods is the healthy alternatives, where they think that they need those, and those are more expensive. Like, the healthier version of chips, the healthier version of cereal, the healthier version of... I'm trying to think of what are other the healthier version of fruit snacks, or the healthier version of candy, or the healthier version of XYZ.
So you're talking about the healthier version of pre-packaged foods.
For sure. Yeah. Yes. And foods that you don't need, that are not necessarily a need in your diet, but are more of a want in your diet, and those sometimes are gonna those can be the things that add up on your grocery bill.
Because they're specialty items.
Yes. Yeah. And they're most of them are not comparatively priced? Is that the right way to say it? Competitively priced. Their prices are not comparable. Like, a Lay's potato chip is 99 cents. Yeah, they're $1, and then you have your Siete chips that are $5. That's not...
You get a family bag for $1, and then you get a pocket-sized bag for $7.
And only this much of it is filled with chips.
Yes.
So I think when you look at those things, and even the sauces and stuff, because people have asked me about different sauces and stuff like that. And I'm like, they are more expensive, but also you can just Google like how to make a sauce, like, you know, how to make these sauces. A lot of these sauces, like if you look at the ingredients even on the label, it's like 7 ingredients that you could easily just have at your house. And if it's a key product that you like and you have the time to just like on a Saturday batch a bunch out for the week, if it's like something you're going to eat in your food, like your mush meals or something every day, it's like you can just batch it out and make it yourself. Like we make sauces and it doesn't take very long. Sometimes I'll just make it for that meal that night. Like you just put it in your like magic bullet and like blend it up. Like I just made the ricotta for us tonight. Like it didn't take long. You know, you just look up these recipes and most of the time it's like stuff you have in your house. So it's easy enough to make. You know, I think we'll like, instead of spending $14 on on like an Italian dressing, like you could just make an Italian dressing at your house. $5. Yeah, at your house for way cheaper.
Yeah. Usually a third of the price, which is kind of nice.
It's just the time, of course. Like, if you don't have the time to do it, then fine, you can spend the extra money. But my point to saying that is, a lot of these are needs more than, a lot of these are wants more than needs, where the money can get really expensive.
For sure.
And I think that just is one thing with food.
I think most, or like when I just think of people who are like, I gotta get healthy. I don't think they ever think about food. I think they think
really?
about less food.
What do you think they think about?
Supplements.
Eating less food?
Yeah.
Supplements.
I think they're like, oh, I'm gonna get healthy. Most people, when they say that, they mean they want to lose weight.
Yeah.
Primarily, even though you should just be building muscle. Anyway, not the point. I think they're like, oh, I need to get healthy. I need to lose weight, and then they think about eating less food. But then they start Googling like, how do I lose weight fast? How do I do this? And that's, I think it's supplementation that really is probably where they spend the most of their money on, or like weird things, you know.
Like things that like fat loss, like fat burners or stuff like that.
Or you get people who are like super nerdy and be like, I want to be the healthiest of the healthy because there's toxins everywhere.
Yeah.
And then they order 500 things, you know, to clean themselves out.
Yeah. And I think where a lot of people do go down like that path where supplements are such this like dark like industry because you really don't know if you can trust them, you know what I mean?
Gray.
It's gray.
And it's like, it's also just not super regulated.
It's not regulated at all.
Yeah, it's not like you just don't know. You don't know if
it says on it, it's not regulated.
Yeah, you just don't know if what you're ordering is actually what you're getting, if it's working, whatever. So I do always try to like use companies that are like third party tested and stuff like that and actually have some type of evidence that whatever it is that they're offering works rather than just being like going on Amazon and looking something up and buying the cheapest thing on there.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, those probably are not going to work. There's a reason. And all of the synthetic vitamins too, like people just go to Costco and they'll just get like the giant 500 like...
That you don't even digest. You
Yeah,
just burn it, like, that's just money you waste because you don't get any of it.
Yeah, well, and then it's like 500 pills like vitamin C and it's like synthetic vitamin C and I'm like,
you don't absorb it all.
Yeah, you don't
Zero.
absorb any of it. Like, and if anything, it's actually like destroying your gut, so it's making your body worse off. When you use those synthetic vitamins, it's making your body worse off. And that even just goes to the point of being like, these people think about all these supplementations that they need and all these supplements that they need to get all of these certain things. And I'm like, literally all you have to do is go outside. Like, go outside.
Air.
Get yourself some sunlight. Take your shoes off and put your feet on the ground. Touch a tree. Like, literally go outside and get some fresh air. Walk. Like, start walking. Get up at lunchtime. If you work in a building or you work at a desk or something, like, say that every day you're going to go outside for X amount of time. And you're gonna like, or you're gonna eat your lunch outside if it's warm enough to eat your lunch outside, or put your jacket on and go eat your lunch outside. Like, getting sunshine, and especially in the morning, like if you have time in the morning to just wake up, go put your feet on the ground for 5 minutes even, let the like first sun hit you with like no sunglasses on, as minimal as clothes as possible. Obviously, if you're somewhere where it's snowing, like, be smart about it, but like, don't put a hat on your head. Like, try to just, like, let it, like, hit your face, your head, like, your hands, like, your arms, if you can, your chest. And, like, the sun is so healing, and people forget that it's, like, you don't need to get these, like, red light therapy. Like, I mean, these things are great, and they're, like, they help assist. They help assist in your health, but they're not necessary. You don't need to spend $1,200 for red light therapy. Go outside. Get the sun on your face. You know what I mean? Go to the ocean. Like, go to some source of water. And water is so healing for us. Like, even just seeing a source of water, like a lake, a river, like any source of natural water, it's so healing for us. And then going into it especially, obviously. But, like, even just the visuals of seeing it. Yeah, just putting your feet on the ground outside. Breathing. Like, we all forget to breathe all the time. Taking a moment to, like, stop and breathe and actually learning, like, breath work is, like, so healing for people, and they don't do it. Like, even me, when I think about, like, when I try to do, like, active breath work, I'm like, my lungs suck. You know?
Yeah. The walking also, like you were said, it reduces cortisol levels.
Yeah, what is
Walking
it like?
outside specifically, it does not translate to walking on like
On a
a treadmill or
treadmill, yeah.
anything. Walking outside specifically.
There's something about...
It's the
And
way
you might know
it's
this.
the way you scan. Sorry, are you gonna ask me why?
No, I was going to say, you might know this. There has something... For people who are trying to, like, lose weight or digestion or something, there's something, like, if you eat and then you walk X amount of time, like...
Oh, just your blood sugar drops.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Really,
it has something to do with your
fast.
blood sugar, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If you
It helps, and it, like, helps the food be more, like, easily digestible or something like that, right? Like, something with your gut, like, or something.
I think it's all just your blood sugar regulation. Like if you do physical activity for about 10 minutes after you eat, your blood sugar just goes straight down. You don't get the spike, then you don't get,
The
all of the
grogginess, you don't get... Yeah.
You don't get the insulin spike. You don't get the body fat. All
Yes.
those.
So yeah, going for a walk after you eat for 10 minutes,
Do some
just like
jumping
walking
jacks,
around your
some
neighborhood,
sit-ups.
yeah, just
I was saying to reduce cortisol because all the other stuff you're talking about was kind of like cortisol reducing.
for sure.
This is all the hippity-dippity stuff that I don't do anything of.
I like trying to get Shane, like, go outside and get some
I don't have
sunshine
time
on your
for that.
face. I'm
I'm
like, go
busy.
step outside when he's with the kids. I'm like, you better go outside today. You guys better be outside the whole time so you can get some sunshine on you.
Yeah, I got work to do.
Yeah, but being like under white ambient lights is all day. This is like so bad for your health, so bad for your circadian rhythm.
What do you
so
want me to
bad
do?
for your nothing. I'm just
Someone's
like
gotta do our
people
job.
like no, I know, but like that's why it's so important. There are these like free things that we forget about, like just go
Sure.
step outside. If you're not feeling well, like go step outside. Go take your shoes off. You know how many people don't touch their feet to the ground? You being
I'm
one
one
of those
of
people.
them. I'm not touching the ground.
It is crazy to me because it's
I'm
so...
not convinced grounding's real.
No, I fully believe in the power of grounding. Like, the earth is an electrical field and we are electrical beings, and the charges between the two of us have never been broken like they are today. We always had our feet to the ground. We always had our bodies. We were kneeling on the ground doing work. Our hands were touching the earth, and our hands were in the soil. We were farmers. We were foraging. Like, we were touching trees. We were chopping trees down. We were climbing trees. We were doing all these things. Like these, we were connected to the electrical charge through nature, which is so healing for our entire body. It like neutralizes so many different things. Cancer being one of them. Stress being one of them. And then people just never take their shoes off and touch the ground. I'm like, it is a free thing to do. We all have, like, or even if you live in an apartment and you don't have, like, grass that you can go step on outside, like, go to a park and take your shoes, go to a park, lay down, like, a picnic blanket. Obviously not if it's snowing wherever you are right now, but lay down a picnic blanket and, like, take your shoes off and just put your feet to the ground. If you live somewhere where it's freezing right now, take your gloves off and go touch a tree for 5 minutes. Like, these things actually do help, and they're free. And people don't do them. It's so crazy to me. People don't take their shoes off until they like go to the beach. Like
I
you
still
go to the
would like to
beach
keep
1
my
week
shoes
a
on for
year.
a beach.
You go to the beach 1 week a year, and it's the only time you take your shoes off. And then they're like at a pool that's cemented in, and like so you're only just on cement, which cement doesn't count if you have to put your feet on like.
Cement actually takes your neurons
it
out.
does.
It sucks your energy.
Yeah, cement. That's why like everybody jokes about like how our houses now are planted on cement. You know how they lay the cement down first? So we're just like in this negative charged field. Like we're never getting like the like healthy charge through us, you know?
All right, now that only the hippies are left on our podcast, we pivot to something that they would like.
What else? What else? What are other free things? No, I was just thinking, I think most people think when they're like to get healthy, the first thought is like food. I thought the first thought was food, but you said no. You think the first thought is supplements.
I think the very first thought is food.
But you think
not,
it's eat less food.
Yeah, not the quality
not to
of
get
food.
the quality of food, yeah.
It's eat less food.
Yeah.
So, but I think most people are actually starving, which is the problem, because they're starving for nutrients.
Yes.
Because they're eating low quality food. I would prefer someone eat half their diet now, maybe 25% of their diet now, calorically, with higher quality food than eat the higher calories.
For sure.
I just think you absorb more of it. It's because a calorie is not a calorie. It's like,
No, I agree. And I think also it depends on, like, yeah, the quality and, like, if you're going to spend your money on organic versus non-organic, like look at the things that are important, like your dirty dozen, so that you're not spending you don't need to get everything organic all of the time. If you can't, if that's not something you can afford to do all of the time. Like even we don't get everything organic all of the time. And so it's like, yeah, making those small little like pivots and eating higher quality food, and you will feel fuller eating higher quality food. That's the thing too. So I think people spend money on these empty calories and these empty foods and these foods that are like filled with things, and then they're eating and they're not hungry, or they eat a little because they're like trying to lose weight, and it never like actually absorbs into their body. They don't get anything from it. It's just empty.
10 chips is the same as 100, guys. Don't be funny.
Yeah.
It's literally like
It's just nothing. It's nothing. Yeah, it's inflammation.
Well, I was just say that's what
it just turns into inflammation.
Right. All it's going to do is disrupt your body and mess up everything else you've been doing to make it better. It's better to have zero while you're transitioning. And then once you get to a maintenance point, like once you get to the point where like, hey, I'm pretty happy, and you want to introduce things in like every now and again, I could care less.
Yeah. I think a lot of people also are not eating enough protein.
Oh,
Myself
sure.
being one of those people. I'm like being
They're not
better
eating
this
enough
year.
food,
I'm being better
period,
this
is what
year.
I mean.
Yeah.
They don't eat enough nutritionally dense food.
Even we say like people we're with, I'm like, this person literally doesn't eat food.
Yeah. I'm like,
Like when we hang out with them, they don't eat.
I'm like,
you
you weigh 180 pounds and you probably eat 50 grams of protein and maybe like 200 grams of carbs. Probably not even.
And like,
I'm
low fat. Like
this is why like you look sickly, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Like this is why you don't have muscle.
It's also why you can't. Yeah, why you're
why
like
you
not
don't
being able
have
to reach your goals.
energy.
Yeah.
Right.
And like your goals are to like lose like body fat, but you literally can't lose body fat when you're in a deficit like
Right.
that. Like
You're
when
not-
you're
your
not
body will
eating.
hold on to
yeah,
it.
it's holding on to everything
Right.
because it thinks it's like starving.
Yeah. Guess what, guys? You don't burn body fat. You feed your metabolic system, which really is feeding your muscles. And then you put your muscles to use, and then they eat your body fat. But if you're not eating, you're not gonna be able to burn it.
Yes. And honestly, that's one of my things. Like, I'm not the best at prioritizing eating. Like, I will go for long periods of time not eating, but I've been trying to do it better this year. Like, I've been making lunch. Because I don't always eat lunch. I eat breakfast. I eat small C bars for breakfast. And then I usually don't eat. Like, I might snack a little bit throughout the day, but usually don't eat throughout the day. And then we eat like a big dinner at like 5.
Well, my big old self, I eat all day long, so.
No, I'm saying me. But I've been better. And then Shane's always telling me, he's like, this is why you're not like getting your goals. This is why you're not like reaching your goals. And also I'm sleep deprived all the time from having kids. So I think it's just like a combination of things. Sorry, I just splashed myself. But I've been eating more, and I feel like my body's like getting in better shape.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm
You look a
burning
lot
fat
better.
and stuff. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm like burning fat and like I'm like getting more like shape that I
Good,
want.
that's because you're dialed in.
Yeah.
Anyway, real quick, for all the people who are like, wait, when I cut my food, I lose weight. Because that is what happens. People are like, they cut their food and they drop weight fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then they hit a plateau. I'm going to tell you right now, the weight you are dropping when you cut weight is actually your muscle deteriorating. Your muscle weighs way more than anything else in your entire body. And then when you stop feeding it, it shrinks. And it goes like catabolic. And it atrophies. And then people are like, wow, I lost 15 pounds. I'm like, yeah, you lost the only good 15 pounds you had. But then they hit the plateau because the body fat's staying there. And then
And the
body
muscles
fat,
are all gone.
and the muscles, that depreciate. And then the body fat's like, oh no, we're losing. And then you start storing more body fat. So I'm
It's
like,
like
that's
just a
why people are so
cycle of-
confused. They're like, I started diet, lost 15 pounds, but then they're stuck like that. And I'm like, yeah, the little muscle that you had is gone.
Yeah.
Just pff,
The best thing to do is
disappeared.
what?
Eat. What do you mean?
No, the best thing to do for like if you're trying to burn body fat
I just said that. You gotta eat and work out.
and lift. Yeah, but lift weights.
Oh, resistance training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even if you're not lifting weights, some type of like
No,
resistance training.
That's the same thing.
What about like bands and stuff like that, or
No,
what about-
calisthenics.
Yeah, calisthenics.
That is a form of resistance.
I'm just
but-
thinking of like, because I always said like it's not necessary. This is supposed to be healthy. It's not for the wealthy.
Right. I did
So you
calisthenics for
could-
3 years and looked fine.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. Resistance training, undeniably, now backed by science, is the number one way to burn body fat. Not cardio, not your walks, not any of that nonsense, not riding a bike. Weights. Weights are the number one. Cardio is still good for your heart. It's good for your organs, your
Cardiovascular
system.
yeah.
Right. That is what it's made for. It is about keeping you healthy, but specifically burning body fat.
And
Resistance training.
aging.
Yeah, well,
They
that's
now-
because muscle
they now say-
is the
yeah.
key to anti-aging.
That's now also
it's
science
muscle,
backed.
not
Yes.
no fat, not less fat. It is muscle.
Yeah, that's like now also backed by science. Is that like the best anti-aging or age reversing type of workouts?
Lean muscle mass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is like actually lifting weights. And you can do that at your house. Like, I think sometimes people get so bogged down going to the gym or like, because they don't know what to do, you know? Like, they're like,
I think if you don't know what to do, the best thing to do is go to a gym.
because you think people are going to
Because
help
you will watch. No,
Oh.
even if you're too afraid, you will watch other people. They have machines with instructions, and you can go. You can go and just do things.
Yeah. You can even get like, I feel like some of these gyms are like super cheap memberships, like $10.
I mean, like yeah,
Like,
Planet Fitness. I mean Fitness.
wow, you need to X that out.
No, leave it. I don't like them because they discriminate against actually muscular people.
No, Planet Fitness, there's like Crunch Fitness, like all of those, they're all like cheap. They're like 10
I don't know
to
what
20
Crunch is, but
like 10 to 20 bucks.
Planet is $10 a month.
Yeah.
And then
So-
like I feel like average commercial gyms are like $20 to $30.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Obviously-
you could do calisthenics at home.
You can, yeah, because you can even get, at Walmart, you can get like cheap dumbbells and stuff like that, like a 5, 10, you can get like 5, 10, 25 or something like that, 5, 10, 15, whatever it is. Because honestly, you think you're going to need way more than you do, but trust me, you'll be set with a 5, 10, and 15. Even a 5,
Especially if you've never
even a
trained.
5, 8, and 10. Like, I still do a lot of stuff with like the 8s. Like, I'm like, and it burns me, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
can just do it, and then you can, as you become more like comfortable and confident, if you then wanted to like go to a gym or sign up for a class or something like that. But even those, like, for free you could do a lot of stuff, or
sure.
for very cheap you can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
For resistance training and for like building your
Yeah,
muscles
more
and
cost
burning your
effective.
fat, and for like, yeah, just overall getting yourself healthier.
I mean, there's heavy stuff all around your house.
Yeah, sure, you could
There
just,
is. Like, you just
pick up
and
your,
most people who have never lifted, like you just all you gotta do is like air squats, wall push-ups. Like we're talking very minimal things. Anything that is hard for
Sit-ups.
you to move. Yeah, I don't care about sit-ups that much, but
I'm saying there's just things you could do, like one-legged like Bulgarian split squats off of like a chair.
sure, for the advanced people,
Oh, I don't know.
who's doing that?
I'm saying you can do so many like
There's tons of things you
workouts
could do. Yeah.
around. Ew, I'm eating mine.
And thanks to the internet, you just Google them all. You know.
Which I
So
still
fast.
do because Shane writes all my workout plans, and sometimes after how many years have we been working out together?
Too many.
After like 10 plus years, some of the things he writes, I don't even know what this is, and I just Google it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what that means. But yeah, you can watch videos. I do think, yeah, so like the fitness aspect of it, the eating, like the food aspect of it, the supplement aspect of it.
I also supplements like you don't need them. They are a luxury item.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people may not try as hard or think that the results that they are getting are because they aren't paying for all these extra things that they think everyone has.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, listen, a really clean diet that is structured and like you actually working out will get you so far.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry guys, we just took a little break. We're back now, and both of us literally forgot what we were talking about. So, yeah.
We're talking about supplements.
Supplements, yes. People think they need them, but they don't need them. And I think there are a few that would be like helpful.
Coffee.
It's
Why are you
not
laughing?
like a supplement though.
It is though when you're trying to work out or you're trying to have more energy, you want to be
Like a
productive.
little bit of like a caffeine kick.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if like let's say like if you were looking for a
I was thinking of
pre-workout-
like probiotics.
Well, I was staying on the I was staying on the fitness aspect.
I was like, I feel like you could
Well, coffee is large and allergic is quite healthy.
Yeah, no, coffee is. And you can get good, make sure it's mold-free, good mold-free coffee. We like,
Sponsored by.
yeah,
Give
no,
us some
we
links, will you?
We like, what's it called? Not forcing, yeah, is that what it's called?
Four Sigmatic.
Four Sigmatic. It's third-party tested, it's mold-free, it's a good one, it's fairly priced. They were one of the only companies during the pandemic who, instead of increasing their prices, decreased their prices because they wanted more people
To be
to be able, they wanted more people to be able to get them. So that just makes me like them even more.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
that's a good, so they're a good company and a good, like, relatively fairly priced company
Do
for
you
good
think
coffee.
the average person knows what a probiotic is?
I think so, but I think people get the cheap ones like at Costco. They go to Costco and they're like, oh, I read I need a probiotic. Everybody's talking about probiotics. Probiotics are
If it wasn't
so...
for you, I would never think of a probiotic in a day in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, you don't ever hear people talk about... Well, I guess because you're only in, like, the fitness stuff. We're only talking about, like, pre-workouts and, like, creatine and stuff. You know?
I follow some health people, too.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't talk about probiotics?
No.
Anyways, I think a probiotic is, like, a good one to have because your gut health is so important for your overall health that sometimes, like, I do think that once you get your gut right, it starts, like, solving other issues in your overall body.
But if you can't afford a probiotic, how about you just stop putting bad things in your gut?
For sure. And your gut will eventually heal itself over time. The probiotic is kind of just like this little helper that helps it get there quicker.
Accelerates the process and also helps immediately starting to feed the good and fight the bad.
Exactly.
But you could just avoid things like cane sugar, artificial sweeteners,
artificial flavors, artificial colors. Basically anything artificial. If there's something you read on a label that you don't know what it is, just put it back. Like if you're just like, I couldn't have grown this in my backyard, or if
natural flavors.
if I needed a lab to make this, put it back. Like, listen, you can take nuts and you can grind them and you can make peanut butter. Boom, you're good. You can take seeds, you can crush them, you can make flax oil. You're good. But I'm like, if you need to make some type of canola oil that goes through a 35-step process that in order for you to be able to consume it, no, we shouldn't be consuming that kind of stuff. Or some type of like, red 40. Like if I had to literally wear protective, like hazardous gear to make that and then I'm putting it into my food, let's not be eating that. Like there are things, people are like, how do I read food labels? I feel like that's like some, like people often like are confused and I'm like, that, I feel like that's one of the easiest things. What's more difficult is reading like shampoo, like some of these other products like shampoos or like lotions or like stuff like that. I'm like, I'm still learning how to read those kind of like items. Like, but food is so easy. We know what we can and cannot eat. Turn over a label and look at it, and if these ingredients are familiar, if you know what they are and you know you could make them, then like you can eat them. You know?
Do you think they say that because they want to eat what they know they shouldn't be eating?
Like, what do you mean?
When it comes to food label, they're like, I don't know, like when they claim that they don't know how to read it or what to not look for. Do you think that's because they just want to eat what they know they shouldn't be?
Maybe.
They're like, I really don't want this to be bad. I know it's bad, but let me just make sure.
Yeah, maybe. Or they're like, I'm confused. Like, is this or... And I'm like, anything you see with a number or a color or anything like that, just like put it back. Come on. Like
or Latin.
Yeah, or anything that's like a 45 like letter word, put it back.
Yeah, right back to the shelf.
Food is one of those things that I'm like, if you can get your food right, because you're eating so many times a day, it's just like one of the things that is like going to radically change your life if you change how you're eating. Right. It removes inflammation from your body. It helps with your stress levels. It helps with your sleep. It helps with your sex drive. It helps with your fertility. Like the list goes on and on and on and on. Yeah, like it's everything. It's everything. Your workouts are better. Like it's everything. So I'm like, that's always where I tell people to start. That and a good water filter, guys. Because you better not be drinking this tap water that literally is just like pharmaceutical drugs and pesticides floating in it. When people still drink tap water, I'm like, I'm scared for you. Don't drink tap water, guys. Get a good water filter. There's good water filters you can get that are like fairly priced too. This is the other thing too. So I'm like, there are so many great companies out there that make things that aren't crazy expensive. Of course, you can Google it, and like the first thing that might come up might be some like crazy $500 insane water filter. Like you don't need
that. $500 because they're running $400 ads for you to see it.
Yeah, like you don't need those crazy water filters. You can get really great water filter. Clearly Filtered is like one of my favorite filters, and it's so fairly priced. You can just get a water pitcher like a what are the ones?
Why can't you just Brita?
Like a Brita. It's like the same thing as a Brita. They have a version of the Brita, which is the cheapest. Like I think it's like whatever. Let's just call it like $34 or $40 or whatever. I get a Brita's $20, but a Brita literally does not filter your water. This one filters everything, filters like chlorine, fluoride, everything from your water, all the pesticides. Like cool. It's 99.9% effective. Like you don't need the crazy, Berkey water filters. Like, is that the next step? Is that the next is that the evolutionary like way you'd go? Yeah, probably, because you're gonna be like, I'm filling this little filter like 100 times a day, but if all you can afford at the time is just the little filter, do it. It's better than drinking from your freaking tap.
For sure.
And that's like another thing that I feel like people often like overthink.
Water?
You know? Yeah, water. Or just water filters, thinking like you need to like get a good water filter or that type of thing. that it needs to be in a crazy
Or
expensive
they just
water
think
filter.
any filter in there that's like, can't put Brita, Like, it just depends on how far along they are in this health journey.
Yeah, I know. I'm so delusional.
I think you give people way more credit.
Yeah, into like thinking
They
like
deserve,
everybody like
you know?
knows like all these things. I'm like, yeah, like we're all like on this, right? And I'm like, oh wait, no, I've been on this journey for such a long time that I forget like where I started to.
The average person.
I don't forget where I started. I remember where I started, which is why I feel like if you've talked to me too, like I'm like really, I'm not trying to be like egotistical or talk highly of myself, but I feel like I'm one of the people who I can like really understand where everybody's at, because I'm like at some point I have literally been in every single one of those stages. You know what I mean? Like, and don't beat yourself up. Like everybody's learning. Like we're all learning. I'm still learning stuff as I go along too. There's gonna be things I look back at that I'm like maybe suggesting right now that I look back at and I'm like, ah, shoot, I wouldn't do that now. Or I
Well, yeah,
wouldn't
because
take
new
that in,
information
you know?
comes out.
Yeah, exactly. Even like the element, like little packets. Like you learn more and then you're like, all right, I'm not gonna suggest that anymore. Like.
Yeah.
And you just like move forward with it. You don't beat yourself up about it. You're just like, okay, now I know what I know now. I didn't know what I didn't know then, and we can move forward. You can only do better. Like you can just keep doing better and better the more you learn.
It's a good way to live life.
Yeah. Anything else we can think about that's like fairly reasonable that people can do to get healthy,
I know, I'm trying to
healthier?
think
That's
of, like,
not like some crazy expensive.
Yeah.
I think just oftentimes people think you need all of this crazy equipment, you need these ice baths and saunas and all these things that like, you know, these like really like hyped about, like they're really like hyped right now.
They do have health benefits. You just
They
don't,
do
you
have
don't
health,
need
they're
them
just
at
not
all.
necessary.
Right.
Like, and you can also make those cheaply. You can do those cheaply.
Sauna's a hard thing to do cheap.
All right, maybe, but
Unless you get a
can go
membership
to.
somewhere that
That's what I was
has
gonna say.
one.
You can like at your gym, like most gyms have saunas. Like
Do
you
they?
can, yeah.
No.
Most gyms have saunas in like the locker rooms.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
locker room. Yeah, in a locker room, like they have saunas, and then you just go there. But even with that, like even like an ice bath, like I think to actually have like a lot of the benefits, it doesn't even need to be like so cold. It's like, you know, 50-something degrees.
Yeah, it's like
It's like not
it's sub
freezing.
60.
Yeah, it's not
I think
freezing.
it's
It's
60 or
58
less.
degrees.
Yeah,
it's like 58
it's
degrees,
really-
which you can make 58
get
degrees
the
water
benefits, which
with
is
your
so
tap
weird.
water in your tub.
It's also so weird that people want to bring it like all the way down to like 30.
Yeah.
And I'm like, other than clout and you feeling like, wow, I'm such an accomplished individual, you get almost no difference between 58 degrees and 28 degrees.
And for women, it's actually worse off because it actually spikes your cortisol worse. So like women don't want to be
When it's too cold.
when it's too cold. Yeah, there is a
I'm sure it's like that for men
There is a
too.
too
Why
cold.
would
I just
not
know
be
like
for men?
I just know for women there is a too cold point for women where actually instead of the benefit, you're no longer getting the benefit. Now it's like doing the reverse on you. So like women get in these like literal ice like and they're sitting in there for like however long, and I'm like, now you just instead of like calming yourself, instead of like healing yourself, you're just like spiking your cortisol and you're like inflaming your whole body. So there is like a temperature gauge that the women are supposed to be between. I'm sure men too, but specifically I know that there is a thing for women.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But you could do that like in your bathtub at your house. Is my whole point. You could
If you really wanted
get cold
to.
enough tap water.
Just take cold showers.
Yeah, exactly. Cold showers.
Put it on your neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you can take, you can get very similar benefits to an ice bath by taking an ice cold like bowl of water with ice in it and sticking your face in it for like holding your breath for as long as you can. The same thing, 30 seconds or however long you can do it. Like you're going to get those same similar benefits.
Your vagus nerve or something like that.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
what
the shocks or
resets.
whatever.
Yeah. It resets it. But yeah, so there are even like to those like hyped, popular, very like talked about things right now. There are ways that you can do it in a cheap fashion or in a cheaper way. You don't need all like the special, most exclusive like things. And I think with like influencers and like social media and all that stuff, like you're like I feel like we're constantly just being like bombarded by all these things, like all these new special, new brands, new this, new that, and I'm like, you can also just keep it very basic.
Yes.
You can get all those benefits. You can get so many benefits just from literal like nothing. From hugging people. You know how good it is to get a hug? Like how good it is for your health to get a hug, to get a kiss, a make-out. It's so good for your health. Making out is so good for your health. It is.
No.
Sex,
No.
orgasms, great for your health.
Those
like
ones are probably good.
Huh?
Those ones are probably good. The first three, not so much.
Laughing is so good for your health.
I don't do much of that either.
Deep conversations, like conversations that actually like bring your like, burn your, like, your soul feels so good when you're having like those deep conversations. Like those really do, like scientifically, have health benefits for you. Removing negativity from your life.
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
I'm on
Getting
board.
rid of the drama.
All
like
board.
removing those type of things.
For sure.
Of course you're going to have health benefits from that.
Absolutely.
Those are free things you can do. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are free things. Like, people overcomplicate getting healthy.
See, that's like a reduction. I think that's what... I think
Okay.
most people are trying to add all this nonsense in. I'm like, I really think you just need to take away things. I think that's the best way to get healthy, and it doesn't cost you anything, is just start reducing everything.
Yeah. Reducing screen time.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you're on your maybe you're on your phone or your social media apps too much. Maybe you're watching too much TV at the end of the day.
Or
like,
all day.
Or all day. But maybe especially, like, right before bed. Like, cut off, you can cut, like, even if you want to watch, like, a show, instead of watching 2 episodes, watch 1 episode or something
Or
like that. Or like, watch just 20 minutes of it, and then give yourself 20 or 30 minutes before you go to bed to, like, unwind and let your brain and body, like, relax. Because if you watch TV up until the point of going to sleep, your cortisol is, like, through the roof. Remember we, like, learned about that thing that's, like, how we're like, you're in fight or flight.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you watch TV up until you go to bed, your body is literally in fight or flight through your eyes watching, like, a television because of, like, the rapid movements or
gross.
whatever. That you go to bed and you, like, like, your body's like, we're about to, like, fight off a, like, woolly mammoth or something, but you're just, like, trying to
Saber-tooth
sleep. Yeah, you're just literally trying to sleep there, like. Yeah, that's something free also.
Yeah. Just reduction.
Reduction.
Reduce low quality people, low quality entertainment, low quality foods.
Yeah. Low
Reduce
quality
all your
anything.
snack foods. No more soda pop. I
Yeah.
feel like that's what they call it down here in the south.
Soda pop.
I don't know.
Pushing them in their buggies. Up to the cashier.
That's so funny.
Alright, I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I was trying to think
basically-
of like what would be someone's objection? Be like, whatever, that it's for the wealthy people. I can't even think of anything.
No, I think people often think it's for
It's
the
like all the
wealthy
fancy
because it's
things.
all the fancy things. And it's all like the food, like the really expensive food and the really expensive this and that. The gym memberships, like going to a CrossFit gym, or even like these classes that are like $200 a month. Like, of course that's expensive. Of course all those things are expensive, and great if one day you can do all of that.
Sure.
Or if you can add to you think, like, people see our gym, and it's like, we haven't always had all of those things. That's literally been added to. Our gym has been being built since we were in California. Some of those things we've had since we've been in California. Like, that's what you do. If that's what you prioritize, then when you get a little bit more money, or maybe it's like Black Friday or something, and there's something you want to add to whatever it is, your tool belt, or even if you are into saunas and you love your sauna at your gym that you go to, and you want to get a sauna, like, save up for it, That can be
Right.
something you don't need
But that's
all
the
of
thing.
it. You don't need everything, and it's not a need, it's a want.
Right.
Like, you want it. You know
Both
what I
of
mean?
those scenarios, there were people who were already doing those things so much that it justified doing them at home. It wasn't
Exactly.
It wasn't like, oh, I don't even use weights because I don't have them. It's like, no, I go to use someone else's weights, which takes more of my energy and more of my time. I'm going to bring the weights here because I'm going to do them every day no matter what.
Exactly.
It's way different. People are used to be like, oh, if I had a gym in my house, I'd work out too. I'm like, I put a gym in my house because I work out.
Yeah. So I don't have to drive somewhere, wasting my time to go, and then also paying for a gym membership when I know I'm going to use them if they're here. So I
I would
know
argue
spending the money
it
on
probably
them.
costs more to have a home gym. Like when it comes to like everything you do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, building it up does
you
take
save
money.
your time.
Building it up does take money.
Sure.
The equipment's not necessarily cheap, especially
Right.
like the fancier equipment. It's not cheap,
But
but like,
time is-
we've never gotten anything that wasn't discounted.
Oh, of
If you
course
can
not.
find a used equipment store, like,
Yeah.
which most
all
places,
my expensive equipment down there is all used.
yeah, it's all used.
All of it.
It's been from like used gym equipment stores, and
Yeah.
like just so happened to be like there's one in Raleigh that was like a really great one, and yeah, but you can find those kinds of things, and I think, you build on that over time if there's
For
something
sure,
that's
Black
like really
Friday
important
sales.
to you. Yeah.
You can find things for like literally like 25%
70%
of their
off?
normal cost. Yeah, exactly.
Like crazy cheap, like
Right.
yeah, 50% off, 70% off, 25% off of like a very expensive item,
Right.
makes it worth
You
it.
find
You
like
know?
squat racks for like $200.
Yeah.
The squat rack we have right now, I load 600 pounds on it, and I bought it for like $207.
Yeah. It's like you don't
Mind-blowing.
need the best of the best.
But just for reference, people don't know, like a good squat rack's like $1,000.
Yeah. Like the Rogue or whatever,
Yeah,
like Rogue
exactly.
brand, like those are like, but you don't need like the fanciest ones. You can just go on Amazon and see, read the reviews, make sure it's not just gonna like collapse on you.
Also, you don't need the fancy one. How much weight you lifted?
You lifted 600 pounds to that things.
I never lift that. That's fair. Anyway.
But yeah, I think people often think it's just like, and people say, "Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to be healthy." But like
I
you're
think that's
saying,
what it really is.
but you're saying like it's also maybe you don't need to do more, maybe you need to do less.
For sure. Like when I was thinking of like, people being like, "Oh, all these people with their fancy foods and all this whatever," like and I'm like, "Oh, you're getting fast food."
Yes.
So it's not actually. It's that you don't cook. It's not that they have more expensive food. It's just that you don't cook.
Yeah. You're spending way more money getting fast food, getting coffee every
Absolutely.
morning, doing this and
For
doing
sure.
that. Like, then you could be just making coffee at your house.
It's
or you could be
just,
just
time.
making, like we were saying, knowing what you're going to eat, buying things in bulk, making them in bulk,
Right.
and eating throughout the week.
That's what it really is, though. I personally think the reason no one does anything is because they don't structure their time properly, and everyone lives in like this reactive state.
For sure. But then I think if you start looking at your day to day, like I think if you,
You're like, oh, I stayed up for 3 hours before bed.
I was gonna say, I think if you were trying to be very intentional about, okay, where am I spending my time, and you literally took a journal or you like just put it in your phone and you're like, what am I doing from the second I wake up to the second I go to sleep? What, like, between this time and this time, what am I doing? I guarantee.
I document everything.
Yes, everything.
Not
I
like,
sat
not
on the
like
toilet.
I had lunch.
No, like I sat on the toilet from 11:14 to 11:17. Did I need to sit on there for that long? Was I on my phone? You know what I mean? Like things like that. And it's like you can start, if you do that, even for 2 days, even for one day.
One day will wake you up really
you will
fast.
be like, I actually have so much time.
Right.
I have so much wasted time that I am wasting all fucking day doing bullshit that doesn't matter and doesn't add to my life and doesn't reach my goals. Those goals I supposedly want, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and you will realize, oh, what do you know? I can actually add things in, or if I just cut these few things out, I will have more time to do things that are better for me.
Yeah.
Prep my food, do whatever it is, you know what I mean? Go for a walk, like, turn off your TV at night and read a book. Have
Well,
a
go to
conversation.
sleep,
Have a
'cause you're clearly
conversation.
tired.
Yeah. Go to sleep early. Yeah, go to sleep. Like, get some quality sleep. Whatever it is.
I think people also, like, people who are like, I'm too tired, I don't have time. Doing these things gives you more energy, which therefore makes you operate more efficiently, which gives you more time.
Exactly.
And people are like, I'm too tired to work out, or I don't have time to work out. I'm like, you will have more energy after you start working out.
If you work out.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll have, it's just crazy. I'm like, it eliminates this problem that you have of being too tired and not having energy.
Exactly. It's kind of like this cycle you just have to jump off of.
It's
It's
like,
like a whatever hamster wheel you just have to like jump off
The
of.
first
and
3 to
once-
5 days, you just push through, and after that, you're like, wow, it feels so much better. And then the whole rest of your day is just
so much better.
increases.
It starts to
Quality of
like
life goes up.
Yeah, it starts to like it all of it. It all starts to build like a ladder. And yeah, especially with like the New Year's around right now and everybody.
Well, it'll be like middle of February. Already, everyone quit by now.
But it's never too late to start again.
Yep.
And just do like small things, you know, small steps that you grow on. Anyways, this podcast was just to help those realize that hopefully there are things that you can do that will help with your life, that will help improve your life, help improve your health, that don't cost money, don't cost very much money, and that will radically improve your entire life.
Good job.
Anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. Should we end it? Peace out, guys. Thanks for joining us. Another week. Small C, big impact.